Buckinghamshire, England. The 28th of October 2025, 3:47 a.m. You're watching security footage from a Sainsbury's supermarket. The parking lot is empty. The store is closed. Everything is quiet. Then you hear it. A deep mechanical rumble, growing louder. A JCB construction vehicle enters the frame. Yellow paint. Massive bucket arm. The kind of machine that moves tons of earth on building sites. Except this one isn't on a building site. It's in a supermarket parking lot at 3:47 inches the morning. And it's heading straight for the entrance. 3 figures in masks follow behind. Dark clothing, moving with purpose. No hesitation. They know exactly what they're doing. The JCB doesn't slow down. The driver aims directly at the wall where the ATM is mounted. The bucket arm extends. The machine accelerates. Impact. The sound is catastrophic. Metal scraping concrete. Glass shattering. Alarms screaming. The entire building shakes. But the thieves don't care about noise. They don't care about alarms. They're not trying to be subtle. This is a ram raid. Speed over stealth. Overwhelming force over careful planning. The JCB's bucket arm wraps around the ATM. The driver reverses. The machine's engine roars. The ATM tears away from the wall. Concrete chunks fall. Wiring rips. The entire fixture comes loose. 90 seconds from entry to extraction. The ATM is free. The masked figures secure it. The JCB reverses out of the parking lot, dragging its prize. By the time police arrive, the thieves are gone. The ATM is gone. All that remains is a gaping hole in Sainsbury's wall and security footage showing 3 minutes of audacious criminality. This is the JCB job, and it's become one of the most brazen theft methods in modern Britain. To understand this crime, you need to understand how ATM theft has evolved. Because stealing cash machines isn't new. What's new is the method. Early 2000s. Criminals used crowbars and brute force. They'd attack standalone ATMs, prying and pulling until the machine separated from its mount. Success rate? Low. Time required? Too long. Police response? Usually arrived before completion. Late 2000s, explosives became popular. Criminals would pack explosive material into ATM card slots, detonate, and grab cash from the damaged machine. Success rate? Higher. Danger level? Extreme. Casualties? Frequent. Some thieves blew themselves up. Some destroyed the cash, along with the machine. 2010 seconds, gas attacks emerged. Pump acetylene or other combustible gas into ATMs, ignite, and blow the door off. More controlled than explosives. Still dangerous. Still destructive. Still left evidence everywhere. 2020 seconds. Enter the ram raid. Use a vehicle as a battering ram. Drive through storefronts. Hook chains to ATMs. Drag them out. Or better yet, use construction equipment. JCBs. Diggers. Telehandlers. Machines designed to move heavy objects. This is the current evolution. And it's devastatingly effective. Why? Because construction equipment is everywhere. Britain has thousands of building sites. Each site has diggers, loaders, telehandlers. Most have minimal security. A determined thief can steal a JCB in minutes. And once you have the machine, an ATM becomes easy prey. The JCB's hydraulic arm can generate tons of force. It can rip an ATM from concrete, like pulling a tooth. The Sainsbury's job in Buckinghamshire follows this exact pattern. Steal a JCB. Drive to target. Use overwhelming mechanical force. Escape before police respond. Simple, brutal, effective. But this wasn't spontaneous. The Sainsbury's robbery required planning. Not sophisticated planning, but planning nonetheless. First, identify the target. Not every ATM is worth stealing. Machines in busy urban areas have faster police response. Machines inside banks have enhanced security. Machines in rural locations might not have enough cash. Sainsbury's in Buckinghamshire is perfect. Suburban location. Well-stocked ATM, serving a prosperous area. Response time from police, probably 10 to 15 minutes. Enough time to execute the raid and escape. Second, acquire the equipment. You need a JCB or similar construction vehicle. Stealing one requires finding a building site with inadequate security. Many sites leave equipment outside overnight. Some have basic padlocks. Some have nothing. The thieves likely scouted multiple sites before selecting their target machine. They needed one that was fueled, operational, and accessible. Once identified, stealing it is straightforward. Break the lock or hotwire the ignition. Drive away. Third, plan the route. You can't drive a JCB on motorways. These machines travel at 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. You need back roads. Routes that avoid main thoroughfares. Paths where a construction vehicle at 4 a.m. won't attract immediate police attention. Fourth, assemble the team. This job requires at least 3 people. 1 JCB driver, 2 accomplices to secure the ATM and provide lookout, possibly a 4th person in a getaway vehicle. Fifth, choose the timing. 3:47 a.m. is deliberate. Late enough that streets are empty, early enough that it's still dark. The sweet spot when police patrols are minimal and response times are longest. The Buckinghamshire thieves executed this plan flawlessly, which suggests experience. This probably wasn't their first ATM job. Let's reconstruct what likely happened that night based on the timeline and typical RAM raid patterns. 2 a.m. The JCB theft. The thieves arrive at a construction site somewhere in Buckinghamshire. They've scouted this site previously. They know the JCB's location. They know the security situation. One person approaches the machine. Construction equipment often uses universal keys or can be hotwired easily. Within 5 minutes, the JCB's engine rumbles to life. The driver slowly moves the machine off-site. At 2 a.m., this doesn't attract much attention. Construction vehicles on roads aren't unusual, even at odd hours. 2:30 a.m. The journey. The JCB travels toward the Sainsbury's location. The driver uses back roads. No motorways. No main streets. The journey takes longer than in a car, but the goal isn't speed. It's avoiding detection. The 2 accomplices travel separately in a car. They arrive at Sainsbury's first. They conduct final reconnaissance. Confirm the store is closed. Check for security guards. Verify police presence in the area. Everything looks good. They text the JCB driver. Clear, come now. 3:45 a.m. Final approach. The JCB enters the Sainsbury's parking lot. The accomplices, now wearing masks, exit their vehicle. They move toward the store entrance, coordinating with the JCB driver. This is the point of no return. Once the JCB hits that wall, alarms will sound. Police will be notified. The clock starts ticking. 3:47 a.m. Impact. The JCB's bucket arm extends. The driver accelerates. The machine crashes into the storefront wall where the ATM is mounted. The sound is enormous. Glass shatters, concrete cracks, metal screams. Inside the store, alarms immediately activate. Silent alarms also trigger, notifying police and security companies. But the thieves don't care. They expected alarms. Their plan accounts for this. 3:48 a.m. Extraction. The JCB driver manipulates the hydraulic arm. The bucket wraps around the ATM. The driver reverses. The machine's engine roars at maximum power. The ATM resists. Bolts strain. Concrete anchors begin to fail. The accomplices move closer. One films on a mobile phone. The other watches for police. Both ready to signal abort if necessary. The ATM tears free. Wiring rips. A chunk of wall comes with it. The machine, weighing several hundred kilograms, now dangles from the JCB's bucket. 3:49 a.m. Securing. The accomplices wrap chains around the ATM, ensuring it won't fall during transport. This is crucial. If the ATM drops during escape, the job fails. One accomplice jumps into the getaway car. The other climbs onto the JCB or runs alongside. The driver begins reversing out of the parking lot. 3:50 a.m. Escape. The JCB, carrying the ATM, leaves the scene. The getaway car follows. They head toward predetermined escape routes, back roads, rural areas, places where they can abandon the JCB and transfer the ATM to another vehicle. 4:02 a.m. Police arrival. Police arrive at Sainsbury's 12 minutes after the initial alarm. Respectable response time for a suburban area in the middle of the night. But 12 minutes too late, the thieves are gone, the JCB is gone, the ATM is gone. All that remains is destruction, security footage, and a very expensive repair bill for Sainsbury's. The morning of the 28th of October 2025, Sainsbury's staff arrived to find their store violated. A massive hole where the ATM used to be, glass everywhere, structural damage requiring emergency repair. The store can't open. Not with a gaping hole in the wall, not with a crime scene that needs processing. Customers are turned away. Revenue is lost. Insurance claims are filed. Local police begin their investigation. They review security footage. They canvass the area for witnesses. They check other businesses for additional camera angles. They also search for the stolen JCB. It's probably been abandoned somewhere nearby. Thieves rarely keep construction equipment after a ram raid. Too conspicuous. Too difficult to hide. Within days, investigators likely find the JCB abandoned in a rural area or hidden in woods. Forensic teams examine it for fingerprints, DNA, any evidence linking to the thieves. But experienced criminals know how to avoid leaving evidence. Gloves, masks, minimal contact with surfaces. The JCB might yield nothing useful. The ATM itself is more interesting. Where did they take it? How did they open it? Stealing an ATM is one thing. Opening it is another. These machines are designed to resist attacks. Hardened steel, sophisticated locks, security features that destroy cash if tampered with incorrectly. The thieves have several options, each with risks. Option 1. Cutting tools. Use angle grinders, plasma cutters, or hydraulic tools to cut through the ATM's exterior. This takes time and creates noise. They need a secure location, probably an abandoned warehouse or rural barn, somewhere they can work without interruption. Quality ATMs have multiple layers. Outer casing, inner safe, each layer requiring separate cutting. A skilled team with proper equipment might need 2 to 3 hours. Option 2. Explosive entry. Place small explosive charges at strategic points. Blow the door off. This is faster but more dangerous. Risk of destroying the cash. Risk of injury. Risk of attracting attention with the noise. Some ATMs have anti-explosive features. Die packs that activate if the machine detects tampering. Once activated, ink sprays over all currency, making it unusable and marked as stolen. Option 3. Inside knowledge. The fastest method requires inside information, ATM service codes, override procedures, technical knowledge of specific machine models. Some criminal groups recruit corrupt ATM technicians, people who know how to disable security features, people who can open machines quickly without damage. Did the Buckinghamshire thieves have inside knowledge? Unknown, but the sophistication of their ram raid suggests they've done this before. They probably have effective methods for opening machines. How much money was in the Sainsbury's ATM? This determines whether the crime was worth the risk. Typical supermarket ATMs hold £20,000, £100,000, depending on location, day of week, and recent usage. Monday mornings might have less after weekend withdrawals. Thursday or Friday might have more in anticipation of weekend demand. The Buckinghamshire Sainsbury's serves a prosperous area. The ATM likely carried £50,000, £80,000, possibly more. Split between 3 thieves, £16,000, £26,000 each. Not life-changing money, but for a night's work with relatively low risk of violence, it's attractive. Compare this to other crimes. Armed robbery of a bank requires confronting staff, risking violence, guaranteeing serious prison time if caught. A ram raid involves property crime, no direct victims, lower sentences if convicted. The risk-reward calculation makes sense, especially for criminals who've done this before and know how to avoid capture. Police face challenges investigating ram raids. Unlike robberies with witnesses, these crimes happen fast with minimal human contact. The security footage shows 3 masked figures and a JCB, useful for understanding the method, less useful for identifying perpetrators. The stolen JCB, once found, might yield forensic evidence, but experienced criminals avoid leaving traces. Gloves eliminate fingerprints. Masks prevent DNA from facial contact. Careful behavior minimizes evidence. Investigators look for patterns. Has this team struck before? Are there other RAM raids in the region with similar methods? Building a pattern helps predict future targets and identify the group. They also investigate construction equipment thefts. The JCB was stolen from somewhere. That theft might have witnesses. Security footage from the construction site might show vehicles or faces. Financial investigation helps too. When the thieves try to spend or deposit their cash, they leave traces. Large cash purchases, multiple small bank deposits. These patterns alert authorities. But smart criminals know this. They spend cash slowly, small amounts at different locations. Nothing that triggers reporting requirements. The £50,000 from one ATM, spread over months and across multiple people, becomes nearly invisible. RAM raids aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a broader crime wave affecting Britain. Dozens happen annually, some successful, some thwarted, some ending in arrests. The pattern reveals organized groups specializing in this crime type. They hit multiple locations across regions. They use similar methods. They likely share intelligence about effective techniques. Some groups are local, operating in specific counties. Others travel nationwide, hitting targets far from their base to avoid establishing patterns that police can track. The Buckinghamshire thieves might be part of a larger network. Their efficiency suggests experience. They might have hit other Sainsbury's locations, other supermarket chains, other ATM-rich targets. Police forces share information across jurisdictions. A RAM raid in Buckinghamshire gets compared to similar crimes in nearby counties. Patterns emerge. Timelines align. Suspect vehicles appear in multiple locations. This collaborative approach eventually identifies criminal groups, but it takes time, and during that time, the thieves continue operating. For Sainsbury's, this crime creates multiple problems beyond the stolen cash. Immediate costs: repairing the building, replacing the ATM, securing the site, lost revenue while the store is closed. These costs easily exceed £50,000. Insurance. Claims take time. Premiums might increase after a RAM raid. Insurance companies see the business as higher risk. Customer impact. Regular customers lose access to convenient ATM services. Some might shop elsewhere temporarily or permanently. Security upgrades. After an attack, businesses typically enhance security. Better cameras, stronger mounting for ATMs, barriers preventing vehicle access. These upgrades cost money. The total financial impact probably exceeds £100,000, far more than the cash stolen from the ATM. And this is just one supermarket. Multiply this across dozens of RAM raids nationwide, and the economic impact is substantial. Preventing RAM raids is difficult. You can't put ATMs in fortresses. They need to be accessible to customers. That accessibility makes them vulnerable. Some businesses try physical barriers, bollards preventing vehicles from approaching, reinforced walls, ATMs recessed into structures where bucket arms can't reach. But determined thieves adapt. They use bigger machines, stronger equipment, more force. Technology helps somewhat. Advanced alarm systems, rapid response security, GPS tracking in ATMs that activates when moved, die packs that destroy cash if the machine is breached improperly. But each defense costs money, and criminals keep innovating. It's an arms race between security and theft methods. The fundamental problem: construction equipment is everywhere and difficult to secure. Until building sites implement better security for machinery, JCBs and diggers remain available for criminal use. As of the latest reports, the Buckinghamshire thieves remain uncaught. No arrests announced. the stolen ATM not recovered. This is common with ram raids. The criminals move fast, leave minimal evidence, and disappear before police arrive. Unless they make mistakes, unless someone informs, unless forensics reveal identity, they often escape justice. The investigation continues. Police follow leads, review footage, check for patterns with other crimes, interview potential witnesses. But without breaks in the case, the trail grows cold. Weeks pass, then months. The thieves might strike again elsewhere, or they might lay low, living off their proceeds. The Sainsbury's hole gets repaired. A new ATM gets installed. Life returns to normal. Except for those who know that 3 masked criminals executed a brazen theft and got away with it.